Hey guys, welcome back from Regents Week. I hope everybody had a nice, exciting, relaxing Regents Week. And now we're going to jump into Unit 4. We're going to be talking about linear equations, and we're going to start off with slope. So before we even start the problems, let's go to the bottom and make just a few notes. So first things first, what is slope? So slope, we said, is the steepness of the line. And how can we find that? We could find that by changing x. Nope, that's not right. Changing y over change in x. So now let's go ahead. Let's go back to the top and let's look from a table. And a little recap from yesterday's lesson. We need to find the change along our y and the change along our x's. So from -1 to 1, that's a change of +2. 1 to 3, same thing, that's +2. 3 to 5, one more time, +2. All right, and now on the other side, from 0 to 1, that looks like +1 to me. 1 to 2 is again +1. 2 to 3 is again +1. Now, if we weren't sure how to get those values, we could use a calculator. And in our calculator, we would take the second number, so the 1, and then subtract it from the first number. So 1 minus -1, if we wanted to do it in our calculator. Same thing on the other side. I would take the second number, which is a 1, and then subtract it from my first number, which is a 0. And that would also give me my side values, my rates, my jumping. But that's not actually what my slope is. My slope has to be the change in y over the change in x. My y's are changing by +2. My x's are changing by +1. So our slope is 2. One more little note to make. M is equal to slope. M is the variable that we are going to use to represent slope. So I could say that here, M equals 2. And that's my answer. All right, let's do it again from the table. All right, so now from 0 to 5, how do I get there? I add 5. From 5 to 10, how do I get there? I add 5. 10 to 15, once again, I add 5. Alrighty, and other side. Let's see, 10 to 20. That sounds like +10 to me. Again, if we are unsure, we could take the 20, because that's my second number, and subtract it from my 10, which is my first number. So now 20 to 30, that sounds like +10. And 30 to 40 also sounds like +10. All right. And again, that's not my final answer. We need to actually calculate the slope, calculate the change. So my y over my x, which is my 5 over my 10. In your calculator, if you put this in, you're going to get 0.5. But we would also accept, if you simplified that fraction, 1/2. So m equals 0.5 or 1/2. They are the same thing. And that's how we do it from a table. You just find your change on your y, change in x, put it into the formula, and then put it in your calculator from there. All right, now let's look for a graph. A slope on a graph. It's hard to see it just by looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 2 points that I like. I like this one here that's labeled for us, -2 to 3. And I like this one here that's labeled for us, 0, 2. And I'm going to take those 2 numbers, 2 points, and let's make a table. So anytime we see a graph and we need the slope, we have to make a table. So let's make that note here. If I see a graph, I know I need to pick 2 points and make a table. Okay, so here when I have coordinate points, remember points are x comma y. So I have x, y, and I have x, y. So my x is -2, my y is 3. My x is 0, my y is 2. And let's find the change. From 3 to 2, that sounds like I'm -1. I went down 1. And then from -2 to 0, remember -2 is less, and now I'm going to 0, so that's more, so I'm adding by 2. And now let's find the actual slope. Change in y over change in x equals y is -1 over +2. So my m equals to -1/2, or negative 0.5 if you put that in your calculator. And last one, let's see what we have here. Okay, again, I'm gonna take 2 points that I like. I really like this one here. It's labeled for us. Remember, we have x, y. And I'll take this one for us. Or actually, no, let's go with this one. Let's see. And again, we have x, y. All right, and I'm gonna make my table. All right, so I have 2, 5, 0, -1. Let's find the change. 5 to -1. So this may be one you guys want to put in your calculator. So it would look like -1 minus 5. That is -6. Now 2 to 0 is just -2. So now let's calculate our change, our slope, -6 over -2. And then my m is going to equal 3.